welcome to Would I Lie to You, the show that not only encourages liars, it rewards them. On David Mitchell's team tonight, it's the star of Pirates of the Caribbean. Johnny Depp knows him. It's Mackenzie Crook. And a naturalist and TV wildlife presenter. Now, look, I'm not going to debase myself by doing cheap double entendres at his expense. I will just give you the ingredients, and you can take it from there. Birds, tits, short-haired beavers. Knock yourself out. Chris Packham! And joining Lee Mack tonight, the country's most famous Victoria behind Beckham and Station. It's the writer and broadcaster Victoria Coren. And a fine comedian who once starred as the voice of the Welsh Tourist Board. Imagine demeaning yourself by appearing in an advert. Rhod Gilbert! And so to round one, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them to make things harder. They've never seen the card before, and they've got no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. And Rhod is first up. Rhod, please reveal all.
I was sacked from my job at a zoo when my boss found out I had been taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
So, just to clarify, were you wearing the hats or the animals?
No, I was taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
Yes, just to clarify, were you wearing hats or the animals?
Well, you think I was taking photos of animals while I was wearing multiple hats?
I would say that in the world of oddness, a man wearing two hats is no odder than an animal wearing one.
Can you give us some examples of animal hat combos that you took photos of?
Yeah, I've done monkeys in bowler hats.
Of course.
I've done a hippo in a flat cap. And, well, I was going to call him a snake. It wasn't a snake. It was in the reptile house, but I don't know what he was, but he was wearing a fez.
Were these miniature hats, can I ask, Rhod? Were these little animal hats or human hats?
On the hippo? Are you mad?
No, but on the thing in the reptile house, I'm thinking a full-size fez is going to just hide the creature.
Yes, but what you're saying is, were the hats to scale?
Thank you. Rhod, were the hats to scale?
The hats, well, I mean, to scale is a grand way of putting it, but I would certainly try and, try and make the hat fit.
Right.
The top of a hippo's head is actually quite a slippery affair.
Oh, you've got to get the right hat.
What was your official role at the zoo?
General dog's body, basically.
I get the feeling that if you were going to put hats on animals, you'd have gone for deer stalkers and bear skins, you know?
I didn't say I didn't. We just haven't got all the way through the animals.
OK.
Right.
You name a hat, you name an animal.
Deer stalker?
No, I didn't do a deer stalker.
Oh.
I didn't have a deer stalker. It wasn't a comprehensive... You can't
But you had a
cross-reference every
fez,
animal.
and you had a massive hippo-sized fez.
It was a regular flat cap.
So what you're saying is
I didn't have every single animal in the zoo, and there wasn't every hat. I didn't cross-reference every single combination of animal and hat. I just put some on some.
Rhod, where was this zoo? Was this a Welsh zoo? Was it Scunner Bird Gardens, for example?
It was down in Pembrokeshire, in a place called Oaksnade.
Oaksnade?
Yep.
There's a chain of snade zoos, isn't there? There's Oaksnade, Rexnade.
And how did it all come to an end? What stopped this?
I got caught.
And who was it who apprehended you?
It was the manager of the zoo.
As a zoo owner and manager, I wouldn't have been offended. I can't see anyone being offended by a fez on a snake and a flat cap on a hippo. I'd have been...
Just what the zoo needs.
If it's down there in South Wales at this Oaksnade or something, I'd have thought any little hat on a cat would have done the
Why,
trick.
because it's a Welsh zoo? Our animals aren't good enough in their natural habitat. We'd better dress them up a bit. You racist bastard. Unbelievable. Well, David, what do you think?
Well, I'll ask my team first.
I mean, I've never heard of Oaksnade Zoo. Have you ever heard of Oaksnade Zoo?
Is that the most you doubt about that?
Mackenzie,
Oaksnade Zoo. Not having it.
My girlfriend owns a zoo. We tour zoos, and Oaksnade's never been on our agenda.
Oaksnade, the zoo that shares a syllable with Whipsnade. I think Mackenzie's right. That's the chink in the otherwise impenetrable armour of plausibility. That Oaksnade zoo doesn't exist. I think we're very happy to say lie.
You're saying it's a lie, so, Rod, were you telling the truth or were you telling us a lie?
Well, chaps, I'm afraid I was telling a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. Rod wasn't sacked from his job at a zoo because he was caught taking photos of animals wearing hats. Mackenzie, you're up next.
Possession.
Possession, right. Now, there's a box, Mackenzie, under the desk. Would you take the possession out, pop it up on the desk, and then read the card for us, please? Oh.
Oh, hello.
This is my orchidometer. It was a present from my sister.
What does an orchidometer do?
Yeah, that's true.
I tell you what, I've seen one of those, and it wasn't called an orchidometer. Admittedly, I haven't seen the whole length of it before.
What's an orchidometer, Mackenzie?
It is a piece of medical apparatus used for determining the size of testicles in male humans.
Yeah. Why do you need to know the size of male testicles in humans? I'm 42, nobody's ever gone, hey, extra large.
I don't. This was bought for me by my sister.
Wait a minute. What? Some of them are so small. They're tiny.
You'd be surprised.
My sister bought this for me for nostalgic reasons.
Nostalgic?
Yeah. To remind me...
Hang on, if this is to remind you both of the good old days, we don't want to...
But surely, nostalgia. In my sister, when I was growing up, you know, as my size bit, she would do a little pencil mark on the kitchen wall, fair enough, but...
For your testicles?
You know how when someone gives you a jumper, they say, oh, try it on now?
Which one are you? You must have done it.
I've never done it.
You liar!
I've never done it. Why would I want to
I'll tell you why, because the second we get out of the studio, I'm doing it, so I don't... I want to do it now in front of the audience.
Well, do you know what? I think we'd all be very happy for you to do it now.
Let's do it. Oh, no. Have you watched it?
Hasn't been anywhere near any.
Well, don't bring it to me. I don't want to...
Hey, Rob, bring back memories. Right, I will do it, but I'll do it under the desk.
You're not going to get your...
Come on. One, just one then. Meet me halfway.
Come on, then.
Come on then, no. This is a real medical thing. Why did you get it then?
Because when I was younger, I was a very slight chap. Not the
When you were younger, you were
specimen
slight?
of man.
Blimey, what were you, a stick man?
And I used to have to go to a hospital to be measured in all sorts of creative ways.
Keep it light.
One of the ways they measured me was using an orchidometer. And,
They measured your testicles with it.
Yeah, not with that one.
What are you going to say?
With your testicle measuring device, you spoilers ambassador.
The question is whether his sister got it for him, and not what this is.
His sister got it for him. He's telling the truth. Can you not...
But this can't be real.
Take those.
This can't be real.
Have a look at him through those. Tell him your sister gave you that as a present.
Have you got truth glasses? They're not allowed on this show.
Lee, it is time to take a guess.
Imagine going to the doctors and going, is that normal to have that many? I mean, take a look at this, Doc. I mean, that's normal. They're purple, and it's the wrong amount. OK, what do you think? I'm going to go with it. OK, then. Well, why not? It sounds true.
Saying true. OK, Mackenzie, what's the answer?
It is true.
It was true. Mackenzie's sister did buy him that orchidometer. Mackenzie frequently brings it out at dinner parties and uses it as an icebreaker, and more often than not, a morale crusher. And at the end of that round, the scores are level. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who's a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of David's team will claim that it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to Lee's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Simon. So, Mackenzie Crook, what is Simon to you?
This is Simon, and when I hoaxed my school by burying some treasure, Simon found it and the police were called.
OK, all right. Chris, how do you know Simon?
This is Simon. In a virtual world, we're married.
And finally, David Mitchell, your relationship with Simon.
This is Simon. He has a large tattoo of my face on his knee.
So there we have it. Is Simon Mackenzie's treasure hunter, Chris's cyber spouse, or David's tattooed fan? Lee's team, where would you like to start?
David.
Yes.
How do you know Simon?
I know him because when I was doing a book signing of a comedy book, he came and asked for the book to be signed and also asked me to sign my name underneath the tattoo of my face on his knee.
When you sign the face, is the face normal when the knee is stretched? Or is the face normal when it's not stretched?
Look, it's my face. It's not normal at all.
I need to ask you a question, but you've got to answer this honestly.
Yeah.
No,
I don't.
That's the whole point of the game.
Okay.
Otherwise we open with,
the people
is it
from
true?
Would I Lie to You said, we're going to invite on that man who's got a tattoo of your face on his knee. Did you say, oh, good, I'd like to see him again?
I am, of course, thrilled to remake the acquaintance of yeah.
Simon! It's Simon!
Simon.
So I did something, just to digress a little bit. I once got, this is true, backstage after a gig, a woman asked me to sign her bosom. And I went to sign with the pen that she gave me, and the pen didn't work. And without thinking, I went to the other breast and went... It's awful! Mackenzie, how old were you when you buried this treasure?
Maybe 13 or 14.
So what was the treasure?
Diamonds.
What? Whoa. How many
That's got everyone's attention.
Fake diamonds. It was a hoax. So it was,
how many fake diamonds?
Probably 6.
Where did you get all the 6 fake diamonds?
From my sister's jewellery box.
What? And then you rang up the police and hoaxed them into coming down to find some fake diamonds?
No, they were... I put them in a tin, and they were dredged in the school pond. So I knew if I placed it in the pond, it would be found.
And where did he fit into this?
Simon found the tin with the supposed diamonds and a letter that I'd faked.
What did it say on the letter?
It said something along the lines of, these are stolen, smuggled diamonds.
Whoa. So you're telling me that diamonds were found with a letter, you go, these are smuggled diamonds?
Yeah.
And someone went, we better phone the police, this is genuine. Was there a punishment involved?
Nobody ever found out it was me. The police came back and said that they'd analysed the diamonds and they weren't diamonds, and it was obviously a hoax.
So they caught Ronnie Biggs, but they couldn't get you.
Are you happy to move on now?
Yeah. Chris, you're married in a virtual world. Tell us a little bit more about how you met Simon.
Second Life is a virtual world that exists on the internet, secondlife.com. And I'm one of the players. There are various roles that you can play. You invent an avatar for yourself.
And you are?
My avatar is Audrey Hepburn.
Is what?
Audrey Hepburn.
So you're playing the woman in this relationship?
Yes.
So why have you got a second life as a woman?
Well, part of the whole thing is that you can be whatever you want to be. And as I say, a lot of people take it...
Don't start singing I Am What I Am.
I thought, well, I'll change my personality. I'll be Audrey Hepburn, as the Audrey Hepburn happens to be one of my real-life heroines.
Right. And
Couldn't do Hepburn because someone had already done it.
And what is Simon's avatar?
He is Simon Bernstein Jr.
Right, and where did you meet him in this virtual world?
Well, when you go on there, you can go to places and then you meet people. They contact
you. A bit like real life, but for sad people.
So his name's Simon and his pretend name is Simon?
Yes, but his real name's Simon Morgan. Presumably, rather like Audrey Hepburn, he couldn't be Simon Morgan because someone had already done that. There were about 20 million people.
No, but you're not Audrey Hepburn.
No, Helpburn.
Yeah, no, but you wanted to... Yes, but he is Simon Morgan, is what
It's like a psychiatrist coach. You are not Audrey Hepburn. I'm not going to tell you again. We went through this last week. You're not Audrey Hepburn. I still haven't established where you met Simon Bernstein Jr.
I met him at a cocktail party.
Yes?
I married him for his money. But I married...
I believe you, because when you said you married him for his money, do you see his face? He couldn't help it. He said that.
No, that was the ink on his knees drying.
What are you going to say, Lee? Who do you think it is?
This is a tricky one for me. Victoria, who is he connected with?
If this was a poker game and I had to make a call, I'd say Mackenzie's the one who's not bluffing.
You're going by body language.
Well, that's interesting. What is it about his body that tells you he's not bluffing it?
He has a sort of calm...
I know for a fact
readiness
he's under
to-
heavy medication. I don't know if that's...
Looking at it from a different way, Simon is far too geeky for tattoos on his knees, but the avatar thing, I think, sounds just a bit too plausible. I think it's Mackenzie.
Well, listen, Victoria's a top poker player. She knows body language better than anybody.
So you're saying that it's definitely Mackenzie Crook? You're saying that it's the buried treasure?
Yeah.
OK. Simon, would you like to reveal your true identity?
My name is Simon, and when we were at school together, I discovered Mackenzie's buried treasure.
Everything that Mackenzie said was absolutely true. Simon found the treasure Mackenzie buried at his school. And actually, we can show you the letter. Have a look at this. In this tin, I have placed stolen... You don't mind me doing it with an accent, do you? In this tin, I have placed stolen diamonds.
Oh, you're going to do it with an accent?
I would never claim to have your range as an actor, David. Shall I do posh and repressed, or repressed and posh? Well done. Now, thank you very much, Simon, for coming on. How about that? Which brings us on to our final round, quick-fire lies, in which our panellists lie not only through their teeth, but against the clock. First up, it's... that's Lee.
I once helped my mum and dad look for something they'd lost using a Ouija board.
Was it a relative they'd lost?
David's team, do you believe that?
What was it that they'd lost?
They'd lost an important document.
OK, I don't want you to be more specific. Oh, actually, yes, be more specific.
A very important document. Okay. It was a document that...
it was a document?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Did I mention how important it was?
You're going too quickly. It was a document. OK.
It was a document.
Did the document matter?
Oh, it was important.
An important document. OK.
I can't stress upon you how important it was.
Yeah.
It was very important.
What was the important document?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I can't... I was only young, and I can't remember exactly...
They lost it.
It was something to do with a potential court case. I don't think it ever got to court, but they were worried that a thing...
Well, of course they didn't have the document.
They were worried that something might go to court, and they knew if they found this document, it would mean that they were proved to be in the right about the case. I genuinely can't remember anything more about it.
I can't
Can
go
we
into
concentrate
specifics.
on the world of the dead?
Did they get through to your grandmother? She went, where did you last see it? Retrace your steps.
Why? Where did you get the Ouija board from?
I think one of the regulars, because we grew up in a pub.
One of the regular what?
We grew up in a pub, and before the invention of the internet, between 3 and 5, the pub closed, and you had to think of something to do.
Obviously dabble in the occult.
Dabble in the occult. And believe it or not, my mum and dad and all the regulars would have a little lock-in, and me and my brother were invited to do the Ouija board.
If only you'd had Jenga or something more wholesome. No. And did you hold hands?
That's a seance, don't be an idiot.
Sorry, I get my bullshit mixed up.
Yeah.
How did you ask the question?
I remember it, my dad said, Spirit world, we have a very, 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 very... I can't stress on you enough how important a document is that we must find.
Yeah.
And they told us where it was.
What did they spell out?
They spelt out in the attic.
So were your parents massively into the occult?
No, I mean, it wasn't a problem. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, it was just a bit of fun in the afternoon, and Ouija boards was cheeky in the 70s before these horror films.
Right.
Up until then, it was a Waddington's family game.
David, time to...
It used to be advertised after Mousetrap.
MB Ouija board. Picture all the family looking
Try Ouija
freaked out.
board.
So, David, what's it going to be, truth or lie?
Well, I think...
True.
You think it's true?
I think it is. I think it's true.
I was not thinking it's true, but my team think it's true.
You're the captain,
I'll
David.
go with the team.
OK, you say true. Lee, what's the answer?
The answer is, it is in fact true.
Yes, it's true. Lee did once help his parents look for something they'd lost using a Ouija board. For those of you who don't know what a Ouija board is, it's like Scrabble for dead people. Next. It's Victoria.
If I ever get stuck on a crossword clue, I phone Tim Henman for help. He hasn't let me down yet.
Right.
I think that's a very cruel line. He hasn't let me down yet. We all know what that's an allusion to. His repeated letting down of the entire nation. I think it's, you know, tennis is difficult. And I'd just like to say I wouldn't necessarily have won Wimbledon. Obviously, if I'd practiced as much as Tim Henman, I'd bloody well expect to, but nevertheless. Right, so how do you know Tim Henman?
I met Tim Henman when he was promoting a sort of tennis academy thing, and I went and played tennis with him at Wimbledon.
Did you play at Wimbledon?
Yeah, I was right about it. It wasn't just like, Victoria Coren's got to come in and play.
You used to ring up Tim Henman to ask him difficult crossword things.
Yeah.
How did you get round that sensitive issue of going 6 down?
So Tim Henman is particularly good at crosswords.
He's got to be good at something.
Once again, I would say that Tim Henman is relatively good at tennis. So he could almost be a professional.
I'm curious, of all the people you meet in the course of your job, you choose a tennis player of sorts to advise you on crosswords.
He's very into crosswords.
So you're saying at this point in this clue I can't get, what we need is some of the skills that it takes to, you know, choke during a tiebreak.
You're turning against him now, aren't you?
Get your mind up. Which side of the fence are you on?
Yeah. How did the subject of crosswords come up when you were playing
I was doing
this?
a crossword while waiting for him. He was doing
To serve, to get one in.
That's why you kept losing.
I was doing a crossword, and he came in, and it was kind of a bonding thing because he said,
And
crosswords, let me have a look.
what do you think, Mackenzie? Do you think it's plausible?
I think it might be plausible, yeah. Cryptic or just regular?
He's not an idiot. You don't bring someone... Oh, yeah, it's got 3 letters, household pet, starts with D.
Cat.
Mackenzie thinks it's plausible. Packham is saying...
I think it's sadly probably true.
Right, so you...
True.
Come on.
I don't have to think.
You're saying true?
True.
OK. So, Victoria...
You think I phoned Tim Henman to ask him the answer to crossword clues? Obviously, that's a lie.
It's a lie. Victoria doesn't phone Tim Henman for help whenever she gets stuck on a crossword clue. Next. It's Rhod.
Oh. I once paid for some tapas with a Nissan Micra.
David, tapas, Nissan Micra.
How much tapas were you buying?
1 meal's worth of tapas.
So what cash value of this tapas?
In the area of £15.
OK, why?
I didn't have any money.
But weren't you aware that a Nissan Micra, even in probably quite scruffy condition, would be worth a lot more than £15?
Yeah, but if you haven't got any money, all you've got is a Nissan Micra. What are you going to do?
I don't suppose I'd eat out in restaurants.
Well, drive home and have some toast.
I couldn't drive home. I sold my car for some tapas.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So did they accept the car in payment?
Yes.
How many of you were eating?
8.
8 of you sharing £15 worth of tapas.
I get £15 worth. We all had roughly, I suppose. I don't know, I didn't check.
But you didn't offer... You didn't offer the Nissan Micra for everyone's meal. You said, well, I only had this, and this. The Nissan Micra's only covering... You can pay for your own. I mean, that might have been the time to be a little bit, you know, a little bit generous. I am giving a car away here.
Did none of the others think that they might chip in to save your car?
Somebody did bail me out, so I had to pay them with my car. That's all I had. They said, I'll pay you.
So it was one of your friends that you gave the car to, not the proprietors of the restaurant, then?
Well, obviously not, yeah.
Right, so one of your friends said, I'll give you the 15 quid.
I'll pay your share.
But you can't, owe it to me. You can't give it to me next week. I want something in exchange for it now. You looked in your pocket, I've got a handkerchief, I've got my shirt. It'd be embarrassing to take my shirt off, but it'll have to be the car.
I think what happened was, she said, I'll pay your share. I said, I've got nothing to give you, I can give you my car. And I don't think it occurred to her to say, no, don't do that, give me 15 quid next week. I'll take the car, is what she said.
What was the value of the car?
2,500 I paid for it.
And how long before the dinner?
I lost £2,485 on the deal. It was good tapas, it was nice. We had... I had albondigas. I had croquettes. Croquettes.
Don't patronise me.
And croquettes, and I had gambas a la plancha, grilled prawns.
No.
And then I threw in the floor mats for some patatas bravas.
Right, David, what do you think? Is he telling the truth?
I think not.
I'm sure.
But it's so sort of odd and weird, and I think it's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
We're all saying it's a lie. OK. Rhod Gilbert, truth or lie?
It is a... true.
So, just to be clear, everything you just said was true.
Every word of it.
You are a moron.
And that noise signals time is up, and it's the end of the show, and I can tell you, well, what a shocker. Lee's team have won by 6 points to 4. In fact, of course, it's not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week this week is Mackenzie Crook. Yes, Mackenzie Crook. I suppose the clue was in the name. Never trust anyone called Mackenzie. Good night.